All right. Well, I wish I could deduct all these movies on my taxes. I don't know if I can. However, we do have some tips on maximizing your return. After the break, we're joined by an expert live in studio with those tips, and we also want to help you avoid getting unwanted attention from the IRS. You're watching 7 Action News this morning on TV 20 Detroit.
Navel gazing, who knew?
Right now, lots of people are working on their 2016 taxes, and of course, they want to get the biggest refund they can get, and they also want to avoid attention from the IRS in the form of an audit. But a lot of times, there can be questions that arise during the tax process. Joining me this morning with some tax tips and key tax insights is Gould, a Walsh College taxation professor and a practicing tax attorney. Thank you so much for joining us. So, are there any, what's new this year? Are there any new changes that people need to be aware of in the tax law?
Well, the good news is that there aren't a tremendous amount of changes from last year. One of the big changes that the government has imposed, unfortunately due to fraud and people trying to take improper refunds, they've slowed the refund process down. They're taking a longer time to look and make sure that the right dollars are getting to the right person, which is good.
Right.
Every year, certain things go up, so the standard deduction, as well as personal exemptions, they've gone up. Exemptions not so much, from $4,000 last year to $4,050 this year.
Right.
So $50, but every 50 helps.
So those slower refunds, how much slower are we talking about getting that money back from the IRS?
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to give you a typical lawyer answer.
All right.
And the answer is it depends. For those that are claiming what's called the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is a refundable credit, those are generally slower because those are the ones that seem to be involved the most with regard to fraud and improper credits being claimed. Also with regard to direct deposit, those are being taken, just clarifying that those
funds are going to
the right account, exactly. So those are the big two throttlebacks, let's call them.
Okay. Now, of course, lots of folks, just about everyone wants to get as much back from the IRS or minimize their tax bill. Are there any tips you can share that folks can use this season to help either get the largest refund or have the lowest tax bill possible?
Well, the best way to get the lowest tax bill, number one, is to make sure that you claim all the deductions you're entitled to. And so for students who have just graduated, they have the ability to claim a deduction for some, not necessarily all, of their student loan interest that they pay. For those that are relocating, there are certain moving expenses that may be deductible. And obviously for those who qualify, there's still time left, actually, since April 15th is a Saturday this year, they actually have till April 18th, the due date of the return, to make a contribution for 2016 in a traditional individual retirement account, IRA, and that contribution, depending on their circumstances, may be deductible on the 2016 return, even though you're making the contribution right now.
And that's great because not only does it potentially lower your taxable income, but it also helps you prepare for retirement. So you benefit in two ways.
Absolutely.
Well, Gould, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Taxes are never a fun thing to discuss, but it's always nice to do the work ahead of time so you don't get in trouble with the IRS. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.